Hey guys, it's Core Ross and welcome to 6 News. Today we're going to go over some of the best changes that are coming with the Crystal Guard season that I haven't made a dedicated video about because either they're too small or just too hard to test. But are all going to have a big impact on the new season, and a big thanks to my Patreon supporters who have made it possible for me to do all these different videos where we test stuff, and I've been incredibly busy, so it's been very cool. But let's move on to the great changes coming with Crystal Guard that I wasn't able to make a dedicated video about. So let's start with the down but not out scoring. So if you shoot a player and they get injured and then your teammate shoots them and kills them, you get the kill, which is freaking brilliant. Now it is a bit more complicated than I thought it was going to be. So what will happen is the scoreboard will update with you getting the kill, but the last player to actually shoot them will get the credit in the kill feed. So this will still leave it open for some toxicity. Players will still be potentially a little bit confused by that, but as time goes on, hopefully everyone will figure out that no one is stealing any kills and there won't be that stupid team killing for no reason. Also, I covered this in a dedicated video, but there's no longer an injure notification as well. Up next is flashbangs. These have been dramatically improved. Now it's hard to test this because the current system is so inconsistent to get any conclusions from, so testing the new system is also a pain in the ass. Now what this basically means, and it should be very simple, that anybody who is in the range of a flashbang will have their screen turn white, and if they turn away it'll last less time, and if they're further away from the flashbang it'll last less time too, but they will always have a white screen for some amount of time. So this at least makes it so that at least there is indeed a little window of opportunity where they will be blind. It also should be noted that there was an update on the test server to actually nerf the new feature a little bit by having it actually be more effective by looking away. You'll still get that flash, but it will not last as long. This means potentially Ying's Candelas will be far better, Blitz's shield be far better, and just basic flashbangs could be far better as well. But will they be consistent enough? We'll have to wait and see till normal gameplay to find out. Another lovely change is friendly fire from throwing gadgets. So if you throw a Legion mine or an Ellen mine or something that is just throwable and you hit a friendly player by accident, it'll now do 0 damage. The same with even a frag grenade. If you hit a player with a frag grenade, it'll do 0 damage, but of course the explosion will hurt them. This just takes away a little pain in the ass thing that otherwise doesn't affect gameplay, so it's a good change. And just to be extra clear, that is against friendlies only. If you hit an enemy with an Ellen mine or a frag grenade or stuff like that, the physical damage will impact the enemy player, but it will not impact friendly players. Now something that people are going to love is flinch reduction. So currently in the live game there can be instances where someone's getting shot and their body moves in a way that actually helps to save their life. Well, that's being reduced and it should be less of an issue. Again, this is hard to test because it's extraordinarily inconsistent on the live servers, so being able to test it is extremely hard, and of course comparing it to the new system is very difficult. But this should be a big upgrade to the gameplay in the new season. When the new season launches and you go into the store, you should be able to get an esports pack. Now, don't know if it's going to be there immediately, but there'll be a free gift of an esports pack that you can just get for doing absolutely nothing in the new season. So enjoy that duplicate. Now on to a change that might be good or bad depending on what operator you play in the new season, and that is the armor system being replaced with health. And this system I have done a dedicated video on, but it was way back when it first appeared on the test server, and because nothing has changed to the system, it's exactly the same. It means all the conclusions in that video have stayed the same. But just to give you some highlights, Rook Armor now gives you health instead of a damage reduction. Dot kind of gets a little bit of a nerf because it takes more stim pistols to get back to full health, and operators that used to do a base damage that weren't affected by armor before, like Maestro's turret and stuff like that, now have a reduction because killing someone with more health takes longer. Now moving on, we've got a weapon change, and this is to do with how much ammo you spawn with in game. So for assault rifles and SMGs it has been reduced and standardized, but for shotguns, pistols and DMRs it has been increased and again standardized for all those weapon types. I love this change because it makes ammunition for the full auto weapons a little bit rarer, and you might be a bit more conscious of the ammo you have left. But for shotguns, it's an absolutely great upgrade, because if you want to, say, redecorate the bomb sites and make it open plan, you're going to have more than enough ammo to do that. But that's not the only update to weapons. We're also getting a damage drop-off standardization and suppressor damage reduction standardization as well. So this is going to dramatically change ranking of weapons. Rogue 9's done a video on this new system. So far, it's pretty terrible, but the idea is good. It's just not being implemented perfectly yet. But when it is, this means that the damage numbers you see in the menus will actually be correct, which will be nice. Now, have you ever asked yourself, I really want to play Rainbow Six Siege with a tiny HUD in the middle of my screen? Well, you can do it now. In the display settings, you can now scale the in-game HUD. I'm assuming this is for like weird resolutions and stuff like that, and screen sizes, to make the HUD actually, usable and decent in whatever configuration you're playing. So it's probably not going to be used by most people. It'd be great if I could scale everything down potentially, or up I guess, and still keep it in the same actual area, but I'll definitely take this. This is a nice little tweaker to have in the settings. Now, do you hate it when a cheater is banned and you lose MMR points because you won against that player in a previous game? Well, there's a new update to the MMR rollback system. So what currently happens is, if a cheater is banned, their entire game history is deleted, which means all the points for those different games for different players is also eradicated as well. This just takes away any potential kind of fake numbers coming into the system. But what they're doing now is reducing that, so they're going to not be taking away quite as many points from you, and it should be a good change in the new season. Again, this is something you can't test on the test server, so we'll have to just wait and see for live servers if this does improve things. Up next, we've got a quality of life change, and that is the screen shake that you get from Ella's Grizzled Mines, Sophia's Concussion Mines, Echo's Yokai Sonic Burst, and Nomad's Air Jab. So basically just less of a screen shake when you go up against those gadgets, along with all explosions as well. Now, something that I really like, and that is individual attacker spawns. So this annoyed me when I went to actually play the last event, and I would spawn not where I picked, but just where the majority picked, and I hate that. I want to just spawn where the hell I picked, and they're changing that for all playlists. You're now going to be able to spawn where you actually select, and not all where the majority is going. So to me, wonderful change, love it, and very happy to see this in all playlists from now on. And now we're going to finish this video off with one of the biggest changes, which I also think is one of the smallest changes, and that is elite customization. But this is phase 1 of the customization, and simply put, they have disconnected the headgear from the elite, which means if you put the uniform on, you equip the MVP dance, you get the player card and all that, and you can put any other headgear on with the elite, which is definitely cool to be able to do. But if you put the elite head on and a different uniform, you don't get the elite MVP dance. This is unfortunate and kind of a lackluster version of it. But at least we know in the future we're going to have full customization, which means you can change out the uniform and headgear separately. You're going to be able to pick an MVP dance. You're going to be able to pick a player card as well. And presumably there's going to be a whole bunch of MVP dances and player cards to buy in the future and all that. There'll be full customization in the future for elites. This is step 1. It's good that we get it, but like I say, it's just not quite what we want yet. But it's definitely better than nothing, so that is a good thing for Crystal Guard. But I'm looking forward to the next season, where hopefully it'll fully show up. But anyway guys, it has been a crazy couple of weeks testing all this stuff. There has been so much with this season, where I don't think I've ever made so many freaking videos that have done so well, which is absolutely wonderful. And again, I want to end this video by saying thanks to my channel members and Patreons for helping out, because big help to get all this stuff done. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you next time.